Indian Army has said that there's no cloud. In fact, we are being told that no operational or classified networks have been compromised. That's the big update we have. All 4 sites were promptly isolated. All 4 websites were promptly isolated and restorative action was undertaken. And no operational or classified networks were affected at any stage. So the security has been maintained. This is the update we have right now, and we'll just in a short while from now show you. We'll show it, we'll expose Pakistan and how they have targeted websites of APS Ranikhet and Srinagar, that is the Army Public School. APS Srinagar faced, in fact, a distributed denial of service assault as well. And an attempted breach on the of the Army Welfare Housing Organization database was also likewise detected. And there was a concurrent effort made to compromise the Indian Air Force Placement Organization portal. So these websites were promptly isolated. Restorative action was undertaken, and no operational or classified networks were affected at any stage. So these attempts have been thwarted, and the army is resolute in defending the digital space and upgrading its cyber posture, safeguarding the welfare of the Indian Army, of the soldiers, and the families, very importantly, because we've got to show you, viewers, how it is written. You can see on air the site hacked, the text with the Pakistani flag. You can see APS Ranikhet, site hacked, and then you have another photograph which shows visuals of the same. The multiple slides that we are showing you right now, viewers, that prove Pakistan's provocation. In fact, Shavan Sen, senior editor, joins us live on the broadcast from the studios. Shavan, well, this is of course frustrated Pakistan once again resorting to this cyber attacking, and these attempts have been failed. They have been thwarted. Just show us the slides, show us those visuals that expose Pakistan.
Well, in fact, 4 Indian websites have been targeted by a Pakistani hacker. In fact, I'm going to just take you through the 4 slides. It turns out that the internal cyber warfare that has been carried out, there have been a specific instruction that has been given by the Pakistan's ISPR to carry out a cyber warfare. This at a time when they have realized that they have completely failed on the other aspects. They have now resorted to this. Let me quickly take you through each of these websites. Each of these websites, what they have essentially done is targeted Indian educational websites. In fact, the Army Public School in Srinagar as well as Ranikhet, both were basically targeted. This, if we can just perhaps come a little closer, I'm going to take our viewers through each of these slides. The attempt that has been made by a hacker, a Pakistani hacker named IOK Hacker. Now, it turns out from the investigation that has been carried out by our security agencies, they've been able to trace the origin of the hacking to Pakistan. On your screens right now, we are going to take you through each of these slides that we have, which was the attempt that was made here. The first one, you have the Army Public School. This is in Srinagar, where the website that they tried to hack, it turns out that this was restored immediately. Then you have, this is the Army Public School in Iran. This is the Indian Air Force's placement cell that was also targeted by the Pakistani hackers. Then finally, you have the Army Welfare Association organization that has also been targeted by the Pakistani army. Now, the Pakistani hackers, what they've essentially done, Rakshita, is that over the last 24 to 48 hours, there has been a continuous attempt to target every possible website linked to the armed forces. And it turns out that they have failed miserably. Now, let me just reveal the name of the hacker, the details that we have just got from top sources with regards to what really happened, who's the hacker. The name of the hacker, IOK Hacker, Internet of Khilafah. It's the group that has sought to deface pages, disrupt online services, harvest personal information. All of it has essentially been done. What we are basically trying to do right now, take you through each of the details of the 4 slides that have basically come in. Now, within the army also, remember, not just the 4 sites. It turns out after the Pahalgam attack, there have been a dozen about a dozen websites that have essentially been targeted. 4, they were basically able to deface the front page. The first page of the website was basically defaced by the hacker, but that itself was restored within the next couple of minutes itself. We'll go once again full frame with the slides of those very websites that have been targeted, Rakshita.
Absolutely, Shravan. Clearly, you can see the way that the text that is written, of course, it screams Pakistan all across. And as you were mentioning that there have been multiple attempts. The recent one was also the Army Nursing College. That was, its website was also recently, just a day ago, was targeted. And now there you can see the cowardice of Pakistan, the frustration of Pakistan. And the cowardice is such that instead of choosing the battlefield, they show that they know the location of the families. They know their house numbers, their housing society, and where the families are living. It's written very clearly, and this clearly shows what Pakistan Army thinks like and in what sort of a warfare it believes, apart from waging terror, of course.
Well, in fact, let me just take you through some more additional details now coming in from the security establishment. In fact, as I've been pointing out, there are about a dozen websites that have been targeted. Now, who are these hackers? The origin of these hackers. We're being told that these are hackers which have largely been or loosely employed by the Pakistan ISPR. In fact, Pakistan's ISPR has largely gone into this digital cyber warfare starting post the Pahalgam attack. Remember, they are the ones who have basically employed this entire narrative of false flag operation. False flag operation is what Pakistan has essentially been indicating as far as the Pahalgam attack is concerned. Now, there is a link, there is a pattern that is basically emerging. Now, each of these websites, each of these hackers, each of these influencers in Pakistan are those who have been connected closely with the ISPR. Remember, they are the ones who are basically given an agenda. The agenda is to propagate the Pakistan Army and the Pakistan ISI's entire agenda. The first agenda that was basically given to them is to basically propagate the false flag operation. Second is to basically target the Indian Army and the armed forces in totality. The third agenda that has also been given is to basically collect information from multiple public sources, and these were basically to gather information to target the army, the movement too. Let's just take you through some more details now coming in. Rakshita, if you can just take our viewers through the details now coming in from the security establishment, because importantly, the ISI has also been seeking information from each of these villages close to the LOC. And they're seeking more information about the army movement.